Have you ever looked up at a statue and wondered what stories it could tell if it could speak? Today, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking tales ever written. A story that will make you see the world a little differently. This is the story of the Happy Prince.
High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes, 2 bright sapphires, and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. From his perch, he could see all the beauty of the city, but also all of its misery. He was called the Happy Prince, but in reality, his leaden heart was filled with sorrow for the suffering he witnessed every day. One evening, a little swallow flew over the city. His friends had all gone away to Egypt for the winter, but he had stayed behind for love of a beautiful reed. As the sun set, he looked for a place to rest and spotted the golden statue. "I will put up there," he cried. "It is a fine position with plenty of fresh air." So he alighted just between the feet of the Happy Prince. As he was getting ready to sleep, a large drop of water fell on him. What a curious thing! There wasn't a single cloud in the sky. Then another drop fell. He looked up and saw the prince's eyes were filled with tears. Tears ran down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. "Who are you?" asked the swallow. "I am the Happy Prince," answered the statue. "Why are you weeping then?" asked the swallow. "When I was alive," the statue said, "I lived in a palace where sorrow was not allowed to enter. But now that I am set up so high, I can see all the ugliness and misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, I cannot help but weep." Far away, in a little street, there is a poor house. A seamstress is embroidering flowers on a gown, while her little boy lies ill in bed. He is crying for oranges, but his mother has nothing to give him but river water. "Swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "will you not take the ruby out of my sword hilt?" The swallow agreed and flew across the city to the poorhouse. He laid the great ruby on the table and fanned the boy's forehead with his wings. "How cool I feel," said the boy. "I must be getting better." And he sank into a delicious slumber. The next day, the swallow flew to help others. He delivered one of the prince's sapphire eyes to a young writer, and the writer's face lit up with joy. Then the swallow helped a little match girl, giving her the other sapphire. Her tears turned into laughter, and the swallow stayed with the prince, telling him stories of what he had seen in strange lands. The prince told the swallow,
I am covered with fine gold. Leaf by leaf, take it off and give it to the poor." So the swallow picked off each gold leaf and brought it to the poor. The children's faces grew rosier. They laughed and played. "We have bread now," they cried.
But then the snow came. And after the snow, the frost. The little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. At last, he had just enough strength to fly to the prince's shoulder one last time. "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "Will you let me kiss your hand?"
"I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last," said the prince. "Little swallow," he said, "you have stayed too long here." "I am not going to Egypt," said the swallow. "I am going to the house of death." And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue. The leaden heart had snapped right in two.
The mayor and councillors saw the statue and called it shabby. They melted the gold, but the leaden heart would not melt, so they threw it on a dust heap where the dead swallow lay. God said, "Bring me the two most precious things in the city." And the angels brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. "You have rightly chosen," said God. "True beauty is not in gold or jewels, but in love, compassion, and sacrifice for others." The happy prince and the little swallow shone forever in heaven. This story reminds us that true happiness is found in kindness and love for others.
Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. A story that reminds us that true beauty and happiness aren't found in gold or jewels, but in compassion, love, and the sacrifices we make for others. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Fluentors for more stories that make us think, feel, and learn English along the way. Don't forget to click the bell icon to never miss a new story. See you next time with another tale to inspire your heart and your mind.